So I'm doing a freeze plug replacement on a 96 Chevrolet 1500, the C1500. Two-wheel drive, 4 3-liter. It's a 5-speed. Now I'm going to try to go over all this as quick and as detailed as I can. Okay, I also decided I was going to replace the motor mounts while I did this job because the freeze plug that went bad on me in general was behind the motor mount. Can't see much from here. So I took the lower control arm off because to get the bolts for the motor mount, there's where the motor mount bolts on. These are two of them. There's two on the back side of the cross member. There's my freeze plug hole that went bad, and the 3 bolts for the motor mount. The motor mount on the block. This is the hole that the control arm pivots on. This is the bolt, the front bolt. There's the rear bolt for the control arm. But those 4 fresh looking holes are the bolts for the motor mount on the driver's side. Don't ask me why, but they put nuts on the back side of the bolts that hold the motor mount on. So it's very difficult. You can't just take the bolts loose. You have to drop the lower control arm so you can get in here with a wrench. Now, I've seen some guys on YouTube say you could do it with a really long wrench, and I thought about it, and instead of fiddling around with all that, I thought I could keep all the stuff connected. I've got the lower control arm with the ball joint still on the spindle or the hub, whatever it is. And I left that all together. Now I had to compress the spring. This is important. I rented the spring compressor from AutoZone. Get this style. Definitely get this style. It took a lot of pressure to compress that spring. And when you use this tool, make sure you grease the threaded rod. And there's a pad. These pads down here allows, this is the drive. And if this stuff isn't lubed up, it's going to cause a lot of resistance on the bolt. But anyway, compress the spring. Take the bolts out of the chassis for the control arm. You can leave the ball joint, everything else connected. You can drop the arm straight down, and then you can get to those bolts. Now, I'm running out for the freeze plug. I've already knocked the old one out. I used a flat punch, and basically I used this angle here, and I smacked it with a sledgehammer. Now, not really hard, just a sledgehammer, because you don't have to get that much movement on it. It's got some weight. Now, you got to be really careful. You don't want to poke through the freeze plug, because those are the cylinder walls right there. A little rusty. But now it's time for the new freeze plug. This is what I'm doing. New freeze plug. Use a socket that fits that perfectly. They say you can use RTV if you want, And so I've decided to use RTD. That's my video. Please like, share, join my channel if